Welcome back to what she said. Welcome back to what she said. It is the midday huddle. Get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all had a good lunch. I hope y'all had a good lunch. So, true story, no cap. I'm wearing my Travis Hunter Heisman shirt. So, check this out. Remember last time I told y'all I went to get a cup of coffee. It was at a coffee shop. And I got a notification that Shedeur Sanders was live on Twitch. So I was like, yay! So I went over there and I watched it and it was fun, yada, yada, yada. So check this out. I was back at the same coffee shop and got a notification. Shedeur Sanders is live. I'm like, yay! So every time I go to the coffee shop, Shedeur Sanders goes on Twitch. So y'all check this out. He was live on Twitch and it was hilarious. So he started out by saying he was setting it up. They had just gotten to wherever they were and he was cooking. He was cooking his chicken and people were coming out and taking pictures. So they had this like makeshift chef station for them. They were off site, not at the facility. So he actually made a joke about that and said when he was setting it up, I guess people was joking like, you ain't supposed to be streaming in here or whatever. He's like, this is free time. This is free time. So remember, Bucky is supposed to have unprecedented access. And I'm like, I'm waiting on this to happen because Shedeur doing his own streaming. So they were at some off-site place, not the facility. I don't know if he got in trouble when he did the last live stream. Maybe they came to him and said, yeah, you can't stream in the facility. Because he said it. He said, well, this ain't the facility. He said, this is free time. So he had somebody, he was actually holding the camera while he was cooking. And they was talking about how he liked his chicken. And he said, I like my chicken well done. And, they was making fun. And he's funny. He's funny. And people are like, Shedeur got on hater repellent. Because he not bothered by nothing that's going on. Like what we typically talking about. And I'm so happy to see that. Because I wondered how he was doing with all of this hatred coming his way. He don't care. And probably like Russell Wilson, he not on social media like that. But he definitely on Twitch. So he finished cooking his food. And of course, his teammates came along, and one guy got next to the camera and shot out his handle. And none of these guys know how to use Twitch. I'm like, is Shedeur Sanders the only social media literate person besides Shiloh in the NFL? Like, they clamped down on them like that. So I was thinking, because on Twitch, if you buy a sub for like $7 a month, it goes to them. I was like, people always want to figure out how to get Shedeur his money back. That's a good way. Just go over to Twitch, become a sub. You don't have to watch the ads, interrupt his Twitch stream, and we can give him his money back that way. And he's funny and he's good at it. So he sat down to eat his food, and all the people was coming around. And one guy that was sitting down told this other guy that was standing up, "We see you always around Shedeur Sanders." He said, "Hell yeah," because the cameras follow him. I was like, "That's what I'm talking about." That's what I'm talking about. He's talking about. I'll admit it. He said the cameras love Shedeur. They follow Shedeur, and I'm going to be where the camera's at, and that's with Shedeur. So y'all respect Shedeur. I was like, this is hilarious. So they would sit down and set the camera up, and he was telling them how to do it, and they was all kind of getting in the frame. Then they start reading his comments, and they were shouting out different people and area codes and 205 and this, that, and the other. And fans were interacting with the other players, and it was just good. But this lady came along. And I don't think she was with the team or anything. She must be wherever they are. And I felt like they were at a school. And she said, she's an older, lady. And kind of like a grandmother type, like Mrs. Doubtfire, kind of like that. And she was like, your fan base is really loud and proud. And he said, yeah, I don't really pay attention to it like that. He said, I stream mostly on the weekends. She said, what do they call themselves? He was like, I don't know. I don't really be paying attention like that. In other words, he just like, look, I ain't got no beehive, if that's what you're trying to say. And it was funny to me because it's the way they were doing it. I said, these people really tripping about Shedeur like that, right? So much so that they getting on the other dude, trying to tease him, talking about, we always see you around Shedeur, and this, that, and the other. He went on ahead and said it. I'ma just be honest, because that's where the cameras go. And sure enough, while Shedeur was cooking, it was a lady next to him talking about how he liked his food. And she was like, he overcooking his chicken. And he said, I like my chicken well done. And somebody said crispy. And he said, yeah. And they were like, what else you like on it? And you could see everybody gravitate towards Shedeur. And he said a lot of salt, and people start laughing. And the lady next to him is older. She said, all right, take it from somebody that's older. You don't want to eat all that salt. And I'm like, facts. But young people, they like a lot of salt and they sweat a lot. So maybe their bodies can handle it. But he sat down. All his teammates was coming around, interacting with his fan base. The lady, whoever that was like, you sure have a very active fan base. Remember, I told y'all at the 12:30 podcast, the lunch and stream, what did I say? I said, Shedeur Sanders fans, football fans, let's be clear, football fans standing on their heads in Cleveland. So much so that this granny type lady noticed it. And she was like, really like, trying to ask Shedeur about it. And he was just kind of like, yeah, you know, they watched me play football. I don't know. In other words, he don't know us. He don't know us. And she was just kind of like shocked by it. I'm like, they really like that. Like, they really just like act like he just showed up out of nowhere and don't nobody know who he is. I get it for her because she sounded like the secretary that work at the school. You know, somebody like that that's been up there for 30 years and everybody know her by Miss Pearl or whatever. But she was just like, yeah, you know, your fan base. So here's the thing. Here's the takeaway. I don't think he can stream at the facility like he did with the whole when we saw him and Quinshon Junkins. And I hadn't really seen Quinshon Junkins. I don't know. He could have been in that Twitch stream. But I will say this. He like, fine, I follow the rules. I'm not gonna film in a facility, but this is my free time. And he set that little camera up and he just funny. And they all funny and they all was shouting out their handles. So they enjoyed it. But it just amazed me. Two things. One, that these guys don't know how to use Twitch. Shiloh on Twitch too. One thing about these Sanders boys, they know how to use the camera. They know how to use the camera, and I don't understand how the rest of them don't. Like, the NFL got these guys right where they want them. They got them right where they want them. Shiloh is in Tampa. He didn't leave and go to the wedding. He was down in a restaurant filming the food he was eating. And he ordered everything off the menu, I heard. So I watched some of it, not all of it. Then he filmed his workout, so they know how to capitalize, right? And it seems like the NFL really don't want these guys to capitalize, and the only time they can do it is off-site. And Shedeur's like, this is my free time, so I'm gonna it's at the facility. So I don't know, maybe he kind of got in trouble. But I posted on my page, Shedeur live on Twitch, and I'm gonna keep doing that whenever we see him. That way, y'all can give him his money back. He's not gonna get all of it, but we can show him some love, even if you don't donate. You just have to watch the ads. But the point is, we can show him some love on Twitch, and you know the NFL gonna have to get over it, bro. You trying to tell me you don't even want these guys to have a personality in their free time? And when the lady was talking about his fan base, that's the second takeaway. She was just really like, they're loud and proud, and what do you call them? It's like she thought he has a beehive, and he kind of does, but he don't know. So here's the thing. They think he probably out here orchestrating all of this the fans. They think he's out here with a name like the Shedurettes or something like that. No, these are football fans. So I'm glad he's following the rules, because I don't want him to get in trouble, because clearly they on his head. I don't know if y'all know, but they had this little party and they had the jerseys, like a little regular, some kind of jersey, not the official jersey, I don't think. And that's when Shedeur had his 12. And wherever they were, there was a swimming pool. And apparently somebody fell into the water with his phone. And he talked about how he had to put it in rice and try to get it to work again. But when they were leaving that event, after he got his phone back, he was leaving with the jersey. And this lady is loud over the PA. Excuse me, you can't take your jerseys with you. And nobody else had their jersey. And it was just a simple mistake. But it's that kind of thing, like they magnify what he does. So the school secretary, that's what I call them, Miss Pearl, asking him about his fan base, like he know each and every last one of us, like he just don't have football fans, tells you that in Cleveland, like they looking at him like he different. But I know they grandkids got social media. I know they grandkids on TikTok. I know they children were on Facebook and MySpace. So why are they acting like they shocked that he has fans? Now, the organization definitely shouldn't act like that. And there's no excuse for Mary Cabot. But that tells you that Cleveland is not doing a good job when it comes to introducing their players and using social media. Because at the facility, people were shouting out, we're at so-and-so facility. If y'all want a picture with Shedeur, come here, blah, 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 blah. That place should have been swarming with people. They should have been swarming with people. So it gives the impression that the NFL wants to be the only one with social media. The NFL wants to be the one with the personality. That the NFL makes you. You leave everything at the door, and then when you get here, you have to compete all over again, start at ground zero, and do what? Let us make you. That's just bizarre. I'm like, and it was so much fun watching him. Hell, I'm trying to get ready for my own show. Luckily, they left because he stopped streaming. Because I think I would have been late. Because it was funny. It was just funny. You know, the thing, it's amazing. The guys just really don't know how to use Twitch. But they was having fun with it. He was like, y'all read, you know, he's talking to one person, but everybody else wanted to see too. And it's funny how they was trying to get on the guy who always with Shedeur. And he said it. Yeah, because the cameras follow him. So he said, you got that right, I'm going to follow Shedeur. And they trying to tease him. So that seems to be a tug of war down there in Cleveland. And Cleveland is not doing a good job of being progressive. And they want to keep everything in a vacuum. And if you hear about it, it got to come from Mary Kate or whatever, Miss Mary. Or, you know, and that's why people like Miss Pearl is surprised that he has a fan base. Because they only want the media to funnel through Miss Pearl and whatever YouTube channels they select. No, social media is free reign. If you got a microphone and a camera and you got something to say and people want to listen, that's what you could do. You know, you can't tell somebody on their free time that I can't film. Okay, maybe I don't film at the Browns facility. I ain't saying I need to see that anyway. We just happy to see Shedeur doing what we know Shedeur does. Live his life out loud, just like Shiloh, just like the rest of the guys. And I remember how when people were saying if they were new to Colorado in Coach Prime's era, some of them didn't like the cameras. I'm like, how do you not like something that's going to make you money? You want to go into the league and let them make you and let them discard you and you have nothing. But, you know, nothing to last long term other than what they give you in retirement. And that's how some of these guys seem to be content because honestly, I was shocked that Quinshon Junkins coming from Ohio State didn't know how to use Twitch. So, you know, y'all let me know your thoughts. But Shedeur was cooking. He was live streaming. His teammates was loving it. Some of them was hating. And they wasn't hating on him directly. They was hating on the other dude that was always hanging around Shedeur, number 45, whoever number 45 is. And somebody named LJ. So I'm starting to pick up on the people that's nice to Shedeur, you know. And those are the people I will support. But yeah, it's like, I said, okay, so Mary Kate out here, Mary Kate and Ashley, that she out here trying to be the one that tells us everything. See, that's what they used to doing before social media, and the NFL is stuck. The NFL is stuck. It wants to be the one, well, this is what the narrative is, and you let Mary Kate tell it, and then she gonna spread it out to the rest of the reporters, and then they gonna run with it. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. They want to be able to control the narrative about Shedeur. They don't want him to have any say-so in his own narrative. But all he does when he on his own time, which they can absolutely say nothing about, is hit record, and his teammates love it. They love it. And they should. So does everybody else. Why do you think Kai Cenat is so popular? Before I got to Shedeur's page today, I was just swiping through, looking all of Kai Cenat and AMP on Twitch. You know, people pay. See, on YouTube, y'all subscribe for free. On Twitch, that's why people leave and go to Twitch, because subscribers pay. You pay to subscribe. And the perk is supposed to be you don't have any ads. And that money goes to the content creator rather than you getting a premium account and you have no ads and the content creator not getting paid unless you choose a membership. See, on Twitch, he getting paid. He's getting paid. So is Shiloh. People said Shiloh should pick up a camera. He damn sure did. And he's still playing for the Bucks. And I hope he makes it. I checked the depth chart. They have Shiloh at 4th. I'm just going to be honest. And I didn't want to say it yesterday because, you know, maybe they don't keep up with it every day. Then again, when you say you got to take a new approach, maybe that's what Coach Prime was talking about. I don't know. But out of all the guys that's in the league right now on the depth chart, I mean, Shedeur ain't even on it. Shiloh is the furthest back. LeJounte is the closest to the pin. He's 2. Jimmy is 3. Trav is 1. And Jacksonville has a post going out saying who's cornerback 2. And right now, Travis is vying for the second spot as a corner, but he got the first spot as a wide receiver. So Coach Prime's kids are not either on the depth chart or they the furthest back out of everybody. And we know it's not about Coach Prime because they hire who? I'm telling y'all, all of that is a mask. All of that is a mask. It's a mask so you don't look, so you don't see. See, if you do like this, you don't see the reality of the ugliness of what's really, really going on, because they don't even talk about Shiloh. They don't harass him for recording. You know what I'm saying? So they don't harass him about his fan base. He has fans. Matter of fact, when Shiloh did that that live stream, it did numbers instantly. At one point, I think I saw 88,000. I could be wrong, but I think I saw 88,000. The piece that the Colorado football team did on Jimmy is over 121,000. Jimmy got popularity too. He might not pick up a camera like they do, but he should, because obvious people want to learn more about him and follow him. Everybody just not big on the social media game. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I would do it. It to me is working for LaJonte. His girlfriend, mind you, she posts her own stuff and he's in some of hers. But maybe they just want to make it first. But to be honest with you, you know, you got to capitalize off the opportunity while you're in the league. And that you never know. Maybe your jersey starts selling more because you get a following. You know, because Shedeur jersey #1. So Cleveland need to stop hating on Shedeur of introducing the players to the city, because nobody should be shocked that he has a fan base of any age if you know who the Cleveland Browns are. So let me see what y'all saying. Hey, Bumpy, how you doing? Charlotte say, hey again. Hey, Charlotte, he had fun. Yes, he had fun. It say he def making the roster for sure. I put a poll out there. I wanted y'all to take it. The question for the poll is Shedeur Sanders making a 53-man roster for Cleveland this season? I was specific about this season because I learned that Joe Flacco played for Cleveland in 2023. But guess what else I learned about Joe Flacco? Guess when was the last time Joe Flacco played an entire season? He has not played an entire season in a minute. Guess what was the last year? Anybody want to take a guess? Drop it in. Don't look. When was the last time he played 16 to 17 games? Drop the year in the chat. Currently, it's 2025. Let me see who knows. All right. It said he def making a roster bump there. Okay. My hit did register. What's really going on? Don't worry about it, political little. Just try it again. We not giving up. His friends love him. Oh, do y'all have Twitch or TikTok? Because I'm going live on. I've already been live on Twitch. I'm going back. I'm just trying to work my schedule out. And I'm going live on TikTok for the first time. So if y'all have TikTok, follow What She Said Sports. We over there. And I'm going to start going live over there too. Just in case some weirdness happen over here, we know where to reconvene. So we're not letting nothing stop us. So let's go. Hey again, Jerry. It say his friends love him. Yes, and he's naturally funny because there was a coach coming through when Shedeur was cooking. And they were talking about his chicken, and they gave him a thermometer and said, here, you need this. Check your chicken and make sure it's 165 or something else like that. And he told me, what I need that for? And the coach was like, look, I need you to play. So I don't want you to be sick. So you need to know the temperature of your chicken. And it was just little pieces of chicken. It wasn't like big, wings and legs and stuff like that. And it looked like it was just like chicken breast that he was searing with some salt. And maybe some olive oil or something. Nothing like he not deep fried no chicken. So it's not like that. It's just like seared chicken breast. And it's funny how he said he just put salt on his food. And I remember him saying he didn't even drink water. I'm like, that's why you got that little pooch, because all he drink is juice. So now, since he's been with Cleveland and he doesn't have to go to class, he been changing his diet. He said he drink water and lemon only. I'm like, oh, I need to do that, because I know that that's healthy. Actually, that's really, lemon water is healthy. And so he's done with juice, getting lemon water. He might not like the taste of just plain water, so he's taking the lemon water. So he's done with juice, drinking more water, putting lemon in it for flavor, and hopefully he lean back off that salt. Because that salt, especially white salt, that's not good for you. Matter of fact, get some pink Himalayan salt, Shedeur, and put that on your food. So I think that'll be good. So with the way they clowning Shedeur, tripping about this media, y'all sure Y'all sure they gonna let Bucky film? Cause I don't know. It must gonna be at the game. It's not gonna be at the facility. And I don't know if it's gonna be at the game. I'm not sure. I know what they said. I saw the announcements. I waited to hang back to read it myself. Because you see people be lying out here. Like, unfortunately, what happened with Chidozie. Charlotte, thank you for the message. I was at the coffee shop. I didn't have time to respond because I was walking and reading and trying to Twitch and get back at the same time. So we're gonna have to do a deeper dive. Cause see, here's the thing. When I looked up about Chidozie, I went to a couple of different places. And one article, I just didn't talk about it because I thought, why would you say something like this? It said that a faction of people were unhappy that Howie, the GM, gave Chidozie a chance with his problematic background. And I had never heard nothing about Chidozie. So I didn't repeat that. And when I saw it with the Eagles background and Colorado on the front, like that's what they do with all the guys. Jimmy, Travis, they use their Colorado uniform. So somebody knew what they were doing. And they put this out here. Now, is somebody trying to make sure he doesn't get picked up by a team because they have an issue with something in his past? And is that why he didn't get picked up initially and why he's having trouble? And they notice, so they taking the opportunity to do what? Well, I know how they make the announcement so people will believe it. But what they tried to do, in my opinion, was put out the story about something in his past. Because when they said it, I'm like, why would anybody be upset with the GM because he gave Chidozie an opportunity because something in his past? Because everybody in this league, Tyreek Hill, going all the way back to Kansas City. And I haven't heard anything like that about Chidozie. So I think somebody plotting on him. They see he not getting picked up. They probably know it might have something to do with whatever they know. And they trying to make sure everybody find out so he does not get an opportunity. And I hate that for him because there are guys in the league with problematic backgrounds. What we talk about, Johnny Manziel. What we talk about, Baker Mayfield. So, and Tyreek Hill. You could on and on and on, right? So, when I asked the question yesterday was Jimmy Horn Jr. at wide receiver, similar to Tyreek Hill, people said no because Jimmy is mature. And that's why I said at wide receiver. I wasn't talking about personally, but that's how people see it. That's how people see it, And even though I specified, I mean it in a wide receiver role perspective, they still told me they felt like Jimmy is more mature. So they didn't see the comparison. So, that's what it is. But it seemed like somebody plotting on Chidozie. They know something about his situation. Maybe they was involved on the other side of it. And what are they doing? Using social media to put it out there to try to make sure he doesn't get picked up. But I never heard anything. So I just hate that they did him like that, They know he having difficulty getting picked up, and then they put that out there. So yes, Charlotte, his friends love him. Hey again. Hey, Jerry. Yes, please hit the likes on your way in. 8827. Come on, guys. Just take a minute. Look at your likes. Let me know if you have an issue, but you should be okay. Mary Kay tried to ask him questions about Sanders Nation. He said he didn't know about Sanders Nation. Really? 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 So was she the Miss Pearl I heard at the offsite event? Or was that really Miss Pearl that belonged to the school? Sanders Nation. That's what I'm like. What? He don't have a named fan base. They football fans. And that's what they don't want to admit. They don't want to admit he has football fans. They're trying to say his fan base is from his dad and Shedeur's talent is not the reason he has football fans. That's exactly why they trying to come up with Sanders Nation. Does Tom Brady have a name following? No, they're football fans. And I looked at something that was like the most impactful players in the NFL of all time, I guess. Number one on the list was who? Odell Beckham Jr. when he was with the Giants. 2 was Tom Brady. And 3 was Coach Prime when he was with Dallas. I was like, I thought Coach Prime's influence came from Atlanta, but they said it's from Dallas. So, everybody got their own way of looking at it. But for whatever reason, Odell Beckham Jr. is the most impactful, influential football player. I don't get that. I could see Tom Brady. I could see Coach Prime with Atlanta, but Dallas, and then Odell Beckham Jr. Why would Odell Beckham Jr. be the most influential NFL player of all time? Does anybody know? And remember, I grew up in New Orleans, so I'm well versed. Going way back over, knowing the history before Odell Beckham Jr. So I don't know, and that just goes to show you different people have their perspective about things. Just like they think there's a Sanders Nation, like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. And what they're every day this goes on, I'm just realizing, I'm like, so y'all don't want to admit that he's famous because of football, because you can't justify pushing down an elite QB1 with 3 million football fans to the 5th round. That's what y'all, so that's what you're doing. Oh, okay. Sorry. They're football fans. We're all football fans. And that's what they don't want to admit. And for Miss Pearl to work up at the school and to hear about Shedeur and to come and say that to him, it just tells you that Cleveland is not doing a good job of celebrating the star of the team. They probably would choke if I said in their presence, the star of the team, the face of the team is Shedeur Sanders. They don't want to admit that because they're like, he's not that good. We got him in the 5th round. And it just proves he's not a 5th round QB. He's an elite QB1 pushed down to the 5th round and drafted. They don't want to admit that. So thank you, Miss Pearl. Thank you for the clarity. I appreciate it. See, that's what it took. It took somebody outside the facility, outside the confines of the Cleveland orbit, just a visit off-site for somebody. Because I was wondering why so many people was coming taking pictures, because I didn't know they was off-site at first. I'm like, don't they work there? No. It took off-site people to show love to Shedeur, just like we all do and everybody else does that see him. People gravitate towards him. And for her to, oh, your fan base, they're just loud and they're just really loud and proud. I'm like, yeah. Football fans. And that's what they don't want to accept. They know it, but they don't want to act like they don't see it. Hey, Salafi, thank you for that, Charlotte. I'm gonna pin that at the top. So now y'all know Cleveland trying to figure out why Cleveland is pretending to act like Shedeur doesn't have 3 million football fans. They try to act like he got a beehive. And he kind of does. So keep playing. I'm like number 7. Oh, okay. All right. I am like number 7. It said we got 26 watching, but only 8 likes. Can we get the likes up? I see 88-36, but yes, can we get the likes up? Shedeur and Shiloh just learned how to use Twitch, but now they know Shedeur said, I am trying to get paid. Facts, Charlotte. Yeah, I knew that Shiloh just got it. So Shedeur just got it too. So it sounds like when they got drafted, they just took it up a level because they already had YouTube. Excellent content. I see you an email ref. Oh, referencing. You sent me an email on Terrell Pryor. Thank you. Terrell Pryor's coming up next. Hey, Miss Pamela. Miss Pamela shouting out to the chat. It said the Mary Kay lady is a hater. Yes. That is so obvious. The Queen of Doom from Lakewood. Oh, okay. Is Lakewood a nice area, Salafi? His confidence disturbed him so much. Y'all, he was having fun. I love to see every day I can see Shedeur having fun. So y'all need to go over to Twitch, just sign up just to follow him. If you don't want to sub, you don't have to. But if you just want to watch, hang out in the back and send comments, just a bunch of hearts, just show him some love, And because it's not easy, but it's good to see he not letting it get to him. He, in my opinion, is just like Russell Wilson is. And I'm happy to see that. And we need to see that, him like that, We need to know that he's okay. He the cafeteria lady. Yes, he was the cafeteria lady today. He was. Chanel, how you doing, Chanel? Charlotte says, Shedeur camera guy fell in the pool at the rookie jersey event. Okay. And he must have been leaving with his jersey. And it's funny because he put it on his podcast. And he was like, she went all on the loudspeaker like, hello, you can't take your jersey. I was like, Lord, calm down. Cam had his jersey as well. Oh, okay, Jerry. Okay. It says, it is well known that Cleveland is just backwards. I mean, yeah, because this crazy. I'm like, I know you got grandkids. I know they be playing their video games on Twitch. And I get it. Everybody's not on Twitch. But it just shocks me that, you know, just like Shedeur and Shiloh started their channel going into it, they already had social media, just an additional form of social media. But this one, in my opinion, is better because they get paid for subs. You know, Instagram, you don't get paid for subs. YouTube, you don't get paid for subs. But Twitch, you do. So you can just be sitting over there reading a book. I might try that. Because I know I got some Sharpies for the Doug Williams book and some other stuff that I've been looking at. But yeah, I'm on Twitch too. But because it took me a minute to get there, because I'm like, I don't play video games. I mean, I don't. So I didn't see. But now I could kind of see. I just kind of had to study a little bit and figure out, oh, you could just sit there and read a book. That's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. So no longer can the NFL ownership, and not the league, but ownership, contain the personalities and the fame of its players. Because why? Social media. And I said it, the NFL don't need the media like it used to, because you got so many podcasters out here who are more well-informed than the media that they're paying. But the difference is, I don't know how many podcasters, if you don't pay them, are going to lie for you or going to defame somebody for you. See, that's different. That's different. So that's why it still has the media like that. And that is also why the NFL still allows the media access in the locker rooms, even though the players don't like it. The players don't like it at all. They said it's outdated and that needs to go away. But to me, it just rounds out the NFL and how outdated it is. Its brand, the mentality, the business strategy, all of it. It's archaic. So thank you, Miss Pearl. It's well known that Cleveland is backwards. Yes, Miss Pamela. It said the personality. Oh, the personality. Okay. Salafi. Salafi spelled purse like P-U-R-S-E. It said they try to purchase your name, image, and likeness. Right. And that's how they feel. Well, forget the name, image, and likeness from college. We starting over. No. And see, they need to get away from that. You are paying these guys for their talent to help you be competitive and win. But the problem is they're not even trying to win no more. They were willing to sacrifice and abandon talent in this draft just to hold Shedeur back, and it's not working. And Sanders Nation is crazy. Is there a Brady Nation? Was there ever that? And everybody on the podcast at the end was saying legendary. So there you go. Hey, Isaiah, how you doing? It said Mary Mack will be silenced. Yeah, she being overruled by social media. People calling her out left and right, so nobody cares what she says. She has no credibility, and that's what's happening to the media. I saw Colin Cowherd. He had on. He was talking about college. I refused to click it, even though I saw Joe Klatt. Y'all know Colorado legend, and I was like, I'm not watching this. I don't care what his thoughts are regarding CU's projection, because it's gonna be negative. It's gonna be negative. They're losing credibility. And as more and more streams, see, they can't keep up. They can't keep up. Shiloh, Shedeur, I already had Instagram. I already had YouTube. They're on Twitch with a whole nother audience. A whole nother audience. TikTok, they can't keep up. They might be on TikTok, but they can't keep up like that. And I think the attention span on TikTok so short. I don't know if people just sit there and listen to videos for a long time. I know they watch people paint. I know that. They'll sit there while you paint and they'll just watch. So they have the attention span for that kind of thing. But I don't think they want you talking to them for hours. I don't think so. It said Tony Gross is a biased or more biased than Mary Kay. Oh, Lord. Who is he, Jerry? Who is he? Mary Kay needs to be outworked, period. All you got to do is just report what's really going on. And you got her beat. Because she want to take what she want to take and tell us, we're like, lady, get out of here with that. And that's where they losing. That's where the NFL is losing. That is why for the NFL celebrity flag football game, the captains were social media stars, Kai Cenat and I Show Speed. Now, I don't know where Kai Cenat is at this point, but I saw I Show Speed running routes, take catching passes and whatnot from Pat Mahomes. So they seem to want to stay dialed in with him. Now, I know I Show Speed is good friends with Travis Hunter. I mean, no, Kai Cenat is good friends with Travis Hunter, but I don't see him as plugged in. And they liked his celebrity so much, ESPN had him on there. Yeah. So they're trying to get that younger audience. But see, the problem is they're alienating the younger audience at the same time. So they're trying to buy somebody. Even Under Armour has signed the other social media sensation, the one that would do the locker room skits about LeBron, RDC. They signed him. He got a deal all off social media. So they know how imperative it is to have social media presence, to have people who can connect with those audiences, 18 to 25. And they do. They have how many football players in that age range? And they don't want them to be seen or heard unless they choose them. That makes you work. That's hustling backwards. That's hustling backwards. Why bring in Kai Cenat when you have Shedeur Sanders naturally? All you got to do is point the camera that way and let us see what's going on, just like we saw last week. And instead of the futile narrative that's not working, just admit, oh yeah, everybody like him. That's how you get a new stadium. That's how you get a new stadium. Because you're not going to get a new stadium hating on the starter team. You might not want him to be the face of the team, but too bad. You don't control who's the face of the team. That's what the fans do. So it's time for the NFL to stop overlooking and discounting its fans and thinking we're just a wallet and we don't have any say-so when you start mistreating the product. Shedeur Sanders is the face of the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders is the reason why the Cleveland Browns are the most talked about NFL team, despite their record. It's not a real competition at quarterback. We already know that. We just want to see what y'all going to do next to make us a fool out of yourselves. Because you're not convincing us of anything. You could go get Kai Cenat and we still going to know who Shedeur Sanders is. Because you had him where? At your celebrity flag football game. And he had his own jersey. He just didn't play because he was getting ready to get drafted. And obviously there were teams that didn't want him to get hurt. Even though they was plotting on him. So, you know, my thing is, Shedeur is a magnet. It could not only be the face of Cleveland. You see what's happening with the OTAs and 13-13. And people ask, when his stats came out the first time, Cleveland didn't announce Shedeur's stats. A YouTuber did. I mean, I guess a podcaster did who apparently has been a part of the media. And he's the one his name is Corey. I don't know who it is, but he's the one that's putting it out there. Why wouldn't they put that out there? This your draft class, right? Just like when Travis does something good, doesn't Jacksonville show it off? When Cam Ward is balling out with Restrepo, Tennessee shows it off. When Jimmy Horn Jr. is balling out, there are posts from the Carolina Panthers page highlighting Jimmy Horn Jr. putting in work. Jimmy Horn Jr. balling out. I know people in Carolina like, who was the first wide receiver picked again? Because why y'all don't talk about him? Trust me, that's a real thing down there. That's a real thing. Because that's just weird. That's just weird. So, you know, you can't stop what the public wants. So no, there's no Sanders Nation. The 3 million followers most likely are football fans. So, you know, embrace it or get the hell out the way. Because we want to see some good football. All right. 94 of us, 52 likes. Just take a minute, hit the like button. Just take a minute, hit the like button. If you on TikTok, follow us at What She Said Sports. If you on X, follow us. Threads, follow us. What She Said Sports, What She Said Sports. Instagram, follow us. And Twitch, because we spreading our wings too. We're going to spread our wings too. So there you go. So yeah, I don't know this Tony guy, but if I see him, Jerry, I'm definitely going to look it up. Shedeur is the sweetest. He deserves everything good. Yes, Amber. And I'm so happy that in the face of these negative obstacles they trying to put in his way, more and more the public is just showing up for him. Football fans are showing up for him so they can stop that ridiculous narrative that he's famous because of his dad. No, he's not. No, he's not. When Shedeur used at Jackson State used to say Brady mode. And when he got to Colorado, he changed it to legendary mode. Why? Because it is true. He had Jeff Blake and he had Tom Brady to mentor him. But when he got to Colorado, he was his own man. And that's where legendary mode came from. That's where legendary came from. And on his Twitch in the bio, it says be legendary. Now, remember, the NFL had a problem with that. So you want to hype me up. No. That's what fans are for. And you got to respect your fans and give us what we want. I am sure they will have something to say about number 2 on Twitch. They can say what they want to say. That's his own free time. Now, I want y'all to be prepared for the possibility of something here that we have not talked about. We said, I did a poll. Y'all say Shedeur gonna make the roster. We talked about it's possible that they could trade him, but we never talked about if they could just release him onto a waiver wire. Technically, that's what it is, right? Remember when the NFL gave out Shedeur Sanders' phone number, the 2,000 people who did not need to know in an email were only Shedeur Sanders' phone number to that draft phone. They thought that was his personal phone. That's where they messed up at. That was a draft phone. What was attached to the email? A waiver wire, meaning they released you. So the negativity we're hearing from Mary Kate and Ashley might just be, we not trading him, we gonna release him. Because if he was supposed to go undrafted, despite the number of jerseys, they might try to use his Sanders Nation, his football fans. They try to use anything to just release him. I'm just saying, that could also be the different approach that Coach Prime is talking about. Shedeur is doing a good job. That's not what this is about. This is about more of the same from the draft and considering an option that despite the jersey sales, despite the wonderful performances, because he already had that at CU and it didn't help in the draft, but somebody speaking up did. And so did that prank coming out. You put the two of them together, I better do the right thing. I do have counsel, but I must not listen to it. And I clearly didn't fear any consequences until 47 showed up. So they're going to probably try it again. And it might be just release him because they don't want him to be famous. If they had an issue, and I'm not saying they did, but if it's possible they had an issue with that little Twitch thing and it was like, you can't stream on a facility at all, that ought to tell you that about Bucket might just be pure BS. Because if I can't stream somebody putting on their socks and me putting on my helmet in the locker room and I'm not showing nobody else, again, you don't want my personality to grow. You don't want me to use what I have here to capitalize off of my time on the team. But one thing they can't get away from, they can get away from that, not trading him, because that would just be another team, is releasing him. And it is a possibility, and that would require a different approach. And just like Coach Prime said, don't be mad, don't be this, don't be that, don't be the other. The message still got to get to the destination, so maybe another league. Maybe that's why he was on the negotiating list for Canada. I think the XFL might still be around. I don't know. The UFL is still around. Maybe that's why we saw a lot of the guys, Terrell Owens, Jimmy Horn Jr. and them, going out to the UFL game to support number 4 that used to play for Colorado. Antonio Davis or something like that. I can't remember his name. That's something we haven't talked about. Him just being released because they just don't want him in the NFL. Remember, they didn't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now before the combine. They got busted when they were in the act of publicly humiliating and colluding against them, so they had to draft him. But what was always the plan after they drafted him? Believe me, they said it out loud. Well, just go ahead and take him. We'll cut him. His name was already attached to a waiver wire, which meant they was always going to release him. So there's an option that maybe you need to consider. Mary Kay needs Mary Kay. Salafi. Mary Kay called, what? What'd she do? Hold on 1 second. This is hilarious. Wait a minute. He's the face of the NFL, period. Yes, Amber. Exactly. They can't feed us the NFL stats anymore. Right. Like, that's ridiculous. Oh, did y'all guess how long it had been? When was the last year that Joe Flacco played a whole season? I tell you, 2017. What year is this? Right. Okay. So what the hell did they think when they drafted him, knowing he hadn't played 5 games, 8 games? Since 2017, he has not played more than 16 games. And you want this man at 40 to go out here against some 20-year-olds, some 23-year-olds. The average age is about 26 when you retire. So that means they're between 20, 21, in 26 and maybe 28 to go against a 40-year-old at 17 rigorous regular season games. If nothing else, Shedeur should start all the preseason games and be ready for Joe Flacco. But they made asinine moves in the draft, and I don't doubt it to happen again. If they released him, I would not be shocked. I would just go right back to that post that Coach Prime said. It's just time to consider another approach. I do not appreciate them gaslighting at all. There's only 3 people in Cleveland I take seriously. G. Bush, Zach Jackson, and that other one. I think his name is Zeb. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Casey. And if you see anything that's good from them, feel free to email it to me. My email address is in the bio. It's whatshesaid404@gmail.com. I couldn't change it to sports, so I just left it there. Corey is a troll. Those aren't real stats. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. T. Rizzo put gross in check. Whoa. Okay, Lenny, I need to see that. Can you email that to me? Somebody email it to me about that's interesting. They post him, but not his work. Interesting. Thank you, Amber. Yes, they are trolling with those 7-on-7 stats. No, they're not trolling. They're not trolling at all. And there's nothing wrong with his 7-on-7 stats. If he's 13-13 and the last person to do it was Tom Brady, no, it just goes to show you Shedeur is that dude. Rizzo. Okay. Shedeur didn't get 11-on-11 snaps, but I bet those brothers worked with him after practice on their own. Yeah, they stayed for hours. They said somebody stayed for 5 hours. It was either Jimmy or Shedeur. Somebody stayed for 5 hours and kept working. And Shedeur, I think, said that on his Twitch, like they staying late. When they had first started it, they staying late. Because some of it I got in 2 parts. Because like I said, I was at a coffee shop and had to get back for the show. And they continued watching it. So, no, he didn't get 11-on-11. He had 7-on-7, and they said that was with the walk-ons. But I did see wide receiver drills, and Shedeur did throw a nice pass to Jerry Jeudy. So it's a whole lot happening here. But his stats look good. Nobody has refuted those stats at all. All they said was, OTAs don't matter. So they're trying to downplay OTAs. But like people have pointed out, I bet if he looked terrible, like Dylan Gabriel, they would act like he lost the Super Bowl. And I totally agree. Get the likes up for me. We made it to 93. Yay! Hit the likes. Just take a minute. Look at the likes and just hit the like button for me. Thank you. So it does seem to be registering on our end. Just make sure, guys. G. Bush from Cleveland is a Colorado Buffalo fan. His show is called The Barbershop. I think I've seen it. Thank you for that, Lenny. It says Prime is well over the 600 winning percentage needed for the College Football Hall of Fame. He's already in as a player. Okay, so yeah, there's no point in trying to stop Coach Prime's winning record because he's already there. But there does seem to be a concerted effort between people we can and cannot see to negatively affect the recruiting at Colorado by meddling with the players. And understand that is not what's happening with Shedeur. I want you to be able to separate the two and compartmentalize because there's several things happening here, but that is what they will consider a bonus because using Coach Prime as the scapegoat, because they don't care about college, right? So why would they meddle with the players? Because maybe there's some people in college that they in cahoots with, and that's where it starts. Because if you look at who the top 2 quarterbacks are this year, it's only 2 they claim, and I know it's more than 2. And they did this to Shedeur and Cam Ward last year. They had them outside the top 5 last year. They sure did. Guess who they had number 1? You guessed it, $4 million at Miami, and he was injured. They had Shedeur and Cam both at the bottom. They don't even have this year Caden on there at all. At all. And he's a dog. So he going to have to go out here and like Russell Wilson said, winning solves everything. And it does. It solves everything. Not that they're not going to stop catching hell. But the point is, you can't use the stereotypes or you can't keep using the narratives, the false narratives anymore. No one mentions Deion Sanders except them. Right. Thank you for that, Lily. We gonna put it in the comments anyway. Let's be legendary. That's right. Legendary up the chat. That's facts. That's facts. That is facts. And I'm like, how you don't like somebody saying be legendary and you want him to manifest greatness? But all the white quarterbacks, it's okay for them to want to achieve greatness. But for the black ones, no, I just want to stuff you in a box and not see you. Why you draft them? Because you want to corner the market on talent and you don't want them to go to Canada or anywhere else. See, I say they're going to push Coach Prime into a position where he got to start his own league. See, his back going to be up against the wall at some point, because what y'all don't understand is if I'm messing with your son and I'm messing with your star quarterback son, who was a first-round draft pick, and your other son who's sitting at 4 on the depth chart, then that tells people this ain't about CU. So I could maybe still go to CU. This about his kids. But then when you sit down and you look at what's going on with everybody after Shedeur, you have to sit up and realize, wait a minute, this is about the program. This is not about Coach Prime. You trying to negatively affect the recruiting. So they're thinking, oh, he's not going to get no 5 stars. Coach Prime didn't have a lot of 5 stars in year 1. He didn't have a lot of 5 stars in year 2. In fact, Colorado has never been a beneficiary of multiple 5 stars, like 3 or 4. No, they've never had a roster like a Georgia or Alabama. They developed the players. That's why he went and got NFL coaches. And for the NFL to hate on that, and these are your alums, oh, nah, that's crazy. That's not going to stop black coaches from coming to college football. But I will tell you, after Coach Prime got to CU, the gates have opened up, and even at the HBCU level. So the Coach Prime effect worked at Jackson State on the field and off, and for coaching. His coaching tree is nice. And nice is a hella compliment. It ain't just simple. It's nice. And they don't talk about that either. But if it was Nick Saban, they would. We know Kirby Smart came from Nick Saban coaching tree, don't we? Syracuse got a good program. They're in the same category with Shedeur. When Keelan Russell, I brought up Keelan Russell, and I said, is there room for one more at CU? Keelan Russell was actually a 5-star. Caden wasn't a 5-star. Juju's not a 5-star. He would have been in 2026. When he came out and declared early, they bumped him down. He ended up being the 3rd best QB behind who? Keelan Russell. And who else? Bryce Underwood. So did I want him to come to CU? Yeah, because I know the hell he probably going through over there at Alabama. But honestly, somebody said it. He might end up at Syracuse. And they should get him. Because now that they know he done wore the Coach Prime shirt when he went to buy the car for his mom, they ain't going to be no nicer. But see, he already knew. He young. He's smart. He like, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. So I might as well get the hell up on out of here and let Coach Prime know, hey, respect. And I don't think we could get him this year. Then again, maybe we could. And he just got to come with the understanding I'm going to need you to red shirt. And if you want to come out in 2 years, maybe you come out in 3. Hell, maybe you stay. But then there's Juju that we got early. So I just don't think we could get him. But I wish we could. For the same reason Mike Tomlin got Russ and Justin Fields. And now they going in on Mike Tomlin. In 2 days, back to back, Mike Tomlin is his own problem. That's from the facility. We already know he lost his voice. I already said he had perceived power. But now the right hand of the NFL, the traditional media, is going after him again. So he should have just drafted Shedeur and got it over with. That's what he should have did. And he probably wish he did. But he don't know what would have happened to Shedeur after they fired him. So maybe that's why he didn't. Because in some respects, I do believe Mike Tomlin was looking out for Shedeur. Because when he was like, he just would have been the number 4 QB behind Aaron Rodgers. He's too talented for that. They already looked like they were going to faint when he was saying all these positive things about his interviews with Shedeur, which refutes exactly what the Giants were saying. And that man still has a job over there. Those people still have a job over there. And that tells you they coddle and protect problematic people. Just like that doctor that punctured the lung of Tyrod Taylor. The players, the black QBs, they're not a priority for them. They just drafted them, devalued them, so they don't go somewhere else, like Warren Moon did. Warren Moon is in 2 Hall of Fames. They don't want that. They want to corner the market, but they don't want to treat the black quarterbacks right. Let's be legendary. I love it. I absolutely love it. The woman was Mary Kate. Yeah. Oh, the lady that was actually talking about his nation. Why was she there? Because they were at another facility. So you mean to tell me she followed them over there? See, I don't like that. Let these people breathe. We don't need you breathing on their backs. So I get it. She the tattletale. She the one that rolled with the team to see what Shedeur was doing so she could go run back and tell. Okay, I get it. Thank y'all. So Miss Pearl is really Mary Kate and Ashley. Okay, I got it. I got it. Tomlin will be fired after this year. Yep. And when the season started, they had six black coaches. They have 4. And if Mike Tomlin gone, that's 3. But I will tell you what I see them doing. I see them giving I would say black people the GM position, black men, but the GM in Minnesota, I think, is African. See, it's something going on there that we might have to talk about in the closed segment that I have been seeing for a while. They know the accent makes them different, right? As long as you're not African American. You see how Andrew Berry gets disrespected, but he set himself up for that. And then they love this guy in Minnesota. Understand. They know exactly what they're doing. I don't like some things Tomlin said about 12, talking about some off the field issues. What issues? I think when he was saying he doesn't have, when I heard him say, who's that, Amber? I heard him say the intangibles are good. The off the field things, the intangibles are good. In other words, all this other nonsense that they talking about, the entourage, the being entitled. He was impressed with it. He didn't have no problem with it. He was actually cutting for him. I will say that. He was standing up for him. But initially, I'm like, why you just didn't draft him like Isaac Newsom did? But Isaac Newsom was a GM. Mike Tomlin is a head coach. So technically, that was for Andrew Berry to do. But clearly, he wanted to protect his job because he been going on with the foolishness. But check this out. The guy in Minnesota, they already, for weeks, have been renegotiating his contract, and they signed it. I wonder if Andrew Berry's contract is being renegotiated because it's up in 2026. And this is the 5th month, about to be the 6th in a day. 6 months left and you don't have no new contract? Well, let's see how that go. Let's see how that go because they surely celebrating, oh boy, over here in Minnesota. Mary Kay is the Cleveland. We know who she is. We know exactly who she is. I just call her Mary Kate and Ashley. MKC is an NFL inside reporter for the Browns. So she has access to most things. She breathing down Shedeur's neck. Anybody that you hear asking Joe Flacco, the one that they want to make the starter because he's sharing a locker with Jerry Jeudy, the perceived starter. If anytime she asks Flacco about Shedeur's popularity, is it problematic? They sent her to Tattletale. And that explains why she was, oh, they're so loud and proud. Maybe she heard us talking about her. That's why I call her Mary Kate and Ashley. I know what I'm doing too. The Minnesota GM came from Cleveland. Oh, that's good. That's good because they kept him. They renegotiated his contract. Shedeur had a private 11-on-11. No one is talking. Inside sources keeping it hush-hush. Good, because next week they're going to put him under the microscope with 11-on-11 with defense. Defense will be present for the 3 days next week. That's why I said next week is critical. But let me tell you what I noticed. These guys like Shedeur. There might be a few in there, and to me, it looked like it's divided right down racial lines. I'm just going to be honest. From what I saw today, just a little bit. And I'm probably going to look for it again. It's a tug of war happening in there. You know, these guys are like having fun with Shedeur. He's likable. He has a magnetic personality. He has magnetic aura. I've actually used that phrase. And I'm sure they don't know what aura is if they don't understand that he has 3 million football fans. They trying to downplay that because they can't justify what they did to him. The lie that he's a 5th round QB is a lie. You just drafted an elite QB1 in the 5th round. Explain yourself. They don't want to do that. You can't say you have an entourage no more because we don't know what the hell you're talking about. Are you talking about his family? Because guess who else has an entourage? Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter got security everywhere with him. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter has media people. I think Brandon, that's the fella's name. He got people. He's not the only one coming out of college with that. Oh, thank you, Saeed. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a minute. It said Tomlin could have showed interest in Shedeur. He's fake solid. Yeah, no, I agree, but I think he was playing the game. I think he's right. See, which I got to remember too, and I'm not cutting for Tomlin because I felt like he could have pulled Isaac Newsom, but he's not a GM. He's a head coach. That was for Andrew Berry to do. Because he's the GM and they have that kind of power. Head coaches don't have that kind of power. Unless you Marty Schottenheimer's son, Brian Schottenheimer down in Dallas, then you probably could do whatever the hell you want to do. Because he took the fast route to be the head coach. The fastest I've ever seen. Talk about nepotism. Yeah. So Mike Tomlin felt like this. Now, I will tell you this. I know he played the game because I think I still have a screenshot of his initial reaction after the draft as to why they didn't draft Shedeur. He said there were these phone calls, and we had to listen to these phone calls. Mind you, you saw the green room. You saw how many people in there. You know if there was a phone call, it was on speaker. And whoever said it, and I can't wait to find out who that is. Whoever said it to everybody in front of Mike Tomlin and his boss, and they were essentially daring him to draft Shedeur. He's a head coach. So had he drafted him, they was either going to mistreat him and put him in the back just like Cleveland, but his job was on the line, and he's like, well, really, if I draft him, they're going to make him a QB2 anyway. See, he wasn't okay with that. He wasn't okay with that at all. But Andrew Berry was. And I keep telling y'all, Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin were the only two people in this whole draft that were told what to do. They said Berry was going to get scammed out of his pick, and I didn't even know who he was at the time. I was like, why would Cleveland get scammed out of his pick? And that's when Andrew Berry was like, I don't have any problem with Coach Prime. Yep, he was on that train. And then what did his boss do? Went to the media and said, we took a big swing and missed with Deshaun Watson. That was a direct threat to Andrew Berry's job. And that's when they pivoted from Shedeur, moved on to Dylan Gabriel. I bet if you look at the dates of all the communique, it matches up. But they kept meeting with Shedeur. So to me, the owner knew about the collusion. And Andrew Berry thought he was doing his job until he realized on draft night, he got set up. He was hot and heavy behind Shedeur. The Giants at the time was saying, yeah, Coach Prime going to be a problem. Andrew Berry came out on the record. We don't believe Coach Prime will be a problem. I saw it. He was all for it. Then they threatened his job publicly, just like they did Mike Tomlin's in the green room, because there were these phone calls, and best believe it was on speaker. But the difference between Tomlin and the difference between Berry played into the bullshit. Talking about, yeah, we didn't draft him because his value was too high for the first round, because he is a retro pocket passer, a retro style QB, which means he's a pocket passer. But then he sits right there and watches who get drafted. Jackson Dart and Tyler Shaw, and understand that was after Cleveland picked. As soon as Cleveland passed on Shedeur, the Giants traded up and got Dart. This was all orchestrated. And they needed to be able to control Berry and control Mike Tomlin. And they did with public threats of their jobs. So I don't know why they want to work that no way, but they probably got nice houses, kids in school, nice cars. They want to keep getting that $3 million a year, $10 million a year, and move on with their dreams. And they know Shedeur going to be okay because they know who his daddy is. So, you know, you and G. Bush keep it real. Yeah, you should have him on your show. When Mary Kay and Tony put out false statements, G. Bush pulls the receipts. Okay, TD. I don't have a problem with it. I tell anybody, I'm willing to collab. You just email me and we could go from there. So yeah, I like the idea, TD. It says it was no media at that practice. Supposedly he ran with the ones also. I believe it. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I read Jerry Judy's interview about locker mates with, what's his name? Flacco. Okay. And he talked what you're supposed to say. Oh, yeah, he cool. I like him. He nice. Yeah, we talk about personal things, but I'm not going to tell y'all what we talk about. See, they trying to force Jerry Jeudy to befriend Flacco, and they doing that early because they know Shedeur Sanders is eventually going to walk in the building, and that's probably going to be natural. Whereas chemistry with Flacco might take a little more, right? Because they got a big age gap, 40 and 23. I don't think Flacco, I'm sure, I don't even know if Shedeur probably listens to the same music Jerry Jeudy do, because Shedeur don't curse. But it probably would be more natural for obvious reasons. Age is the first one. Yes, race too. Cultural similarities. So that's why Jerry Jeudy got to lock her with Flacco. Just like Andrew Berry and Mike Tomlin, he didn't ask for that. They trying to tell him something. This your QB1. That's how you know it's a fake competition. And since that was Mary Kate and Ashley back there talking about his fan base, that means she saw what we had to say. And not just me. I mean, all of us. And we don't like her because she's negative about Shedeur, and she got the message. And I'm glad he told her, yeah, I don't know. I don't keep up with it. I only go live on the weekends. So that means they trying to stand on his head. And that's where she came from with that a question of Flacco. Is his popularity a problem? But here she back with it being messy. Oh, your fan base is so loud and proud. I thought that was Miss Pearl, the secretary from the damn school. I didn't know she was following them around. She the tattletale. Believe me, she the one that got to report back. See, all these teams, I thought about this yesterday, all these teams got somebody ingrained in an organization that comes back and tells. They not there. They off somewhere on their yacht. But I need to know what's going on this team. And I ain't necessarily going to trust my GM because I can fire you. I want to get somebody else in there. And a reporter is the best person. They get all access to everything, the locker room to see what the players doing. They can probably go all in the meetings and stuff and wait outside and get the first report. Yeah. All 32 teams got a mold. And as you can see, the reporters run with the same stories, the same narratives. All you got to do is sit back and watch what podcasters run with the same narratives as Mary Kate and Ashley. That's what a mold does. That's what a mold looks like. The fact that she would even mention that to him is crazy. That's how much they care about it. It's irritating the hell out of him that he got fans because they want to be able to do what they want to do with Shedeur, and his fans don't say nothing. Well, you can't. And yeah, Mary Kate and Ashley, we see you. They need to straighten up and fly right. It said Bullcom came to Travis by way of Coach Prime. He was coaching Shedeur at Shiloh's middle school. Prime always sends people to help his young men at the higher levels. Oh, that's good. I think I heard somebody refer to him as Shedeur's friend or something. I think that was when he was on that podcast with Green Shirt the first time, and Green Shirt was tripping over jewelry. Like Travis don't have jewelry, and Boog pulled out Travis Hunter logo chain. That was hilarious. If y'all haven't seen that, you should go watch it. It said that's something that the Players Union might have to address. What's that, Art Jizzle? What's that, Art Jizzle? Let me know. If Tomlin was real, he should have warned Shedeur and Prime that was going to go on and that they were going in a different direction. No, you know who should have warned him? The one that pre-draft with him extensively, Andrew Berry. That's who should have warned him. I'm going to be honest with you. He the GM and met with him the most. And number 2 is before 21. So Cleveland passed on him first. And then how many times? 4 other times? So here's the thing. Mike Tomlin is after Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry don't get off the hook here. He met with that young man multiple times. And the moment his job got threatened, he should have sent him a text. Hey, we might not be able to get you. And to be honest with you, Mike Tomlin did a late interview and a late with Shedeur. It was on the media, and I saw how upset or irritated the media guy was when he was asking Shedeur about it, and Shedeur didn't want to. He said he just reminded me of my dad. That pissed that man off so bad. And remember, that was like the day or 2 before the draft. So honestly, Andrew Berry got played, and his face looked like that night because that's when he realized it. Because when it came out around March 31st, the owner saying we took a big swing and missed to the media. You could have told me that in a meeting. He heard what we heard all at the same time. oh, he messed that up. That's basically what they're saying. So you can't mess this up with a quarterback. That's why they're claiming they might get a quarterback next year. This was all a setup. Barry got played down to the last. See, he thought he was playing with them. See, I can collude with you or I can collude against you. He thought when they moved off of Shedeur and they didn't tell Shedeur that he was rolling and colluding with them. But he got played publicly, and that's probably why you hadn't seen him. He ought to be embarrassed. He sat up there and told bold-faced lies. They sent him out there on that initial press conference to talk down on Shedeur. Yeah, we're not going to give him nothing. He got to earn it, this, that, and the other. He go out there and ball the hell out. And this Kevin Stefanski gets the opportunity to come back out and clean it up. His integrity is reeling because they played him too. And they played Mike Tomlin in the green room. Honestly, Mike Tomlin was going to draft Shedeur. You know how I know? Because what he said, there were these phone calls, and we had to listen to these phone calls. Yes, he was on speaker with all the people around, and y'all saw the racial makeup of those green rooms. So you know what time it was. And the fact that it was publicly and it was done, and they came to him, and they basically telling him, you would choose him or your job. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. And what did he say? So yeah, there were these phone calls. And he said that a couple of times, and they had to listen, and the other person was still there, so we went with him. That's how you know Shedeur was going to Pittsburgh. And Mike Tomlin chose his job, and now they coming for it. He was damned if he do and damned if he didn't. And if Shedeur would have went there to Cleveland, and because he was going, Pittsburgh, he'd get fired anyway. Then what happens to Shedeur under the new coach? What if it's Daboll from the Giants or somebody like him or part of that faction or some nut from the Saints who's also in cahoots? He said it. He would have been fourth on the depth chart behind Aaron Rodgers. And that don't make no sense. He too good. So seemingly he picked his job. But then again, he might have just went on ahead and if he come here, he going to be hell because I know they firing me. That's exactly what I think is happening. That's exactly what I think is happening. They have decided, since DEI don't exist no more, to hell with it. Yeah, that's what they decided. It don't exist no more, so we don't have to worry about it. We probably can't be sued for it. And if we can, who's in our favor until Shedeur didn't get drafted. And that was one hell of a flex. And that told all of us who was really in control. So I think a waiver wire might be coming. And if so, Coach Prime already knew. And we're not going to cry. The question is, what happens next? Does he stay in the NFL and go to another team, or do they let him languish? And he just smart enough to have already had conversations with Canada and UFL, and maybe he gets equity and he balls out there because I'm going too. Because I'm not sticking around with Mary Kate and Ashley's. No. This is already a lot. I said that if it weren't for Shedeur them, I swear I would not be watching this. And if he go, we going too. And they know that. And they know he number one in jersey sales. And yes, it might matter. And they could keep him on the roster so we can buy the jerseys. But if it don't say two, I don't want it. I don't call him two no more, but let's just be clear. I heard him mess up the other day, seemingly so, and say two. Darn, 12. So he might already know his next move. So, Black excellence is trumping DEI. They can't stand it. Yup. Because Shedeur got drafted against their wishes. They want credit and fealty for any success Shedeur earns. Right. And no, he's already a star. And why they finally use the word popularity, because they refuse to say celebrity and a star. They're trying to attribute it to his father's success. But see, they can't ignore social media. See, if he was just a fan, if we just knew him from his father, as they have tried to assert, we wouldn't be on Cleveland's page. No, we would not. Because it might be people that only know him from that. I don't know. You know how long ago that was? Honestly, I never watched the show. Didn't know anything about it at all. So there's people like me, just grew up watching football. That's how we know Shedeur, because we started watching him in high school. Overtime been documenting him the whole time. And what Overtime has done for football, they could also do for the NFL, but clearly they don't want that. They want to be in absolute control, and they'd rather go get Show Speed and Kai Cenat and invite Shedeur as a celebrity, but they didn't make him the captain. They had Michael Vick there too. Neither one of them were captains, and they both were quarterbacks. They could have been the captains of the team, but they wanted YouTubers because they wanted the YouTube audience. But they want to say when, who, and how. That's not going to work. Jerry said Tony Grossi is only media that was allowed in practice. He's the Browns' ultimate media inside. Oh, okay. Well, I know they had a media day. On day 2, there was a media day. And I know he wasn't the only person, Jerry. So there were other people there. Dylan is a DEI hire because the NFL colluded against 2. I want y'all to think, I was going to tell y'all this. I'm like, y'all know Dylan Brown, right? He Brown. How does that factor into 17-32? Maybe that's why I have Flacco and Kenny Pickett. They had Flacco first. I mean, Kenny Pickett in March. So they knew going into March they was going to get him. But Flacco, let's be honest, this man has not played a full season since 2017. And he's 40 now. And that's a long time ago. In 2 years, that'll be 10. So that's 8 years ago. And that's who they want to start all the games. Not going to happen. And honestly, I don't hear them saying anything about Dylan. So they don't seem to be too high on him. So they were thinking to take his Brown self and put him behind Kenny Pickett. And he was on the Heisman stage. So they don't love him that much better. They like anybody better than Shedeur. They did the same thing with Cam. Y'all know they did the same thing with Cam. So, this going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if they waive him or if they keep him. And if they keep him, is he going to be QB4, QB3, QB2? Because if he get anywhere, it don't matter. The people he on the team with, he already better than all of them. So Dylan could go out there. If they put him first after Flacco, and it ain't going to work out. They already say his height is an issue. They can see it. I don't know how they could see it before, but whatever it is, they said they could see it in the last OTAs because he's struggling. We seen him make magical plays at QB for the last 5 years. They telling everyone we don't know a good QB when we see it, and we not buying it. And people pulling out receipts on them left and right. Shedeur highlight reel is a joy to watch. I wish we could watch it, but it's a lot of plays that came from the game, so you can't really show it. Check out the article regarding Shedeur outplaying the other QBs. Okay, thank you, Jerry. If you send it to me, yeah, I'll look at it today. Thank you. They wanted tethers. Yep. I like that, D. I like that. The QB coach likes DG, K. Hayes. Oh, really? Well, that's good. You can like who you can like. But the best is who the fans want to see. And they're not going to sit there. They're not. These people have already seen what Shedeur could do. Even the ones that didn't know Shedeur before Cleveland have seen what he could already do in OTAs with or without the stats. You're not blind. We all have eyes. We can see. I don't even need the stats. When I saw that play with Dylan, I was like, okay, is this real? And I was serious. So yeah, I'll check it out. Those teams are gonna reap what they sow. Yep. Cleveland, born and bred. Shedeur will be the Browns. Shedeur with the Browns will get us ahead. Absolutely. Salomon, I'm telling y'all, if they would have treated Shedeur the right way, drafted this man number 2, y'all stadium probably would have been stamped and approved for the next few years. Because promise you, that's what Jacksonville is looking at with sold out seasons with Travis. That's the dynamic duo. So had he been QB1 just like Cam Ward is in Tennessee, and they actually gave it the proper coverage it should have and introduced the fans to their star. And you even got to say he's a star. The fans know NIL is out there. And so I know y'all heard about this, right? See, this is the double standard that goes on. And I'm telling you, when you're a quarterback, you get treated one way. So y'all know who Stephon Diggs is, right? So Stephon Diggs is what is he, a wide receiver? Whatever he played, he ain't a quarterback. Okay. He's a body. And that's how they look at it. And they use up their bodies. Understand that. Whether you're a running back, wide receiver, cornerback, if you're not a quarterback, I don't need you to think. Just go out here and learn his playboy. So Stephon Diggs was on a yacht. And apparently he and Cardi B went to a function on a yacht. Memorial Day weekend. And supposedly she went to the bathroom and was in the bathroom. So I don't know where the hell this footage came from, but it looked like it was kind of high up. So maybe there was a security camera. And I don't know why nobody decided to look at it and send it in to the NFL or put it on social media. But he's in trouble. So Stephon Diggs is surrounded by 3 women, you know, the thick kind that they like. Of variations of race in here and whatever. Look like all might be foreign, could be light, could be this, could be big, whatever. BBW, that's the term. I don't even know what it means, but that's the term. And, you know, he's, in my opinion, trying to impress them. Now, this man just got a $65 million contract and traded from the Texans to the Patriots. And following an injury, by the way. And they were all fawning over him, you know, and asking for something that he said, I could make it happen. And they call him daddy, right? So imagine one man surrounded by 3, you know, BBW women or whatever, the kind they like. And they daddy this, daddy that, daddy this, daddy that. And he's like, I can make it happen. And he pulls out what looks like a Ziploc bag. But I think it's one of those bags that might be sealed a little tighter. It might be smell proof. I'm not sure. And in it is 2 things. It's like a 3x5, 4x5 size. It's not that big, but it's clear so you can see straight through it. Is a pink powder, powdery substance. And the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is Diddy. Now, mind you, this is Miami. Diddy lived in Miami. And there's something that if you go with the number 2 in the letter C, it's called Toosie. But some people spell it Toosi, the number 2, the letter C, pink enjoy Coke, you know, like that. And in it was, so you got the pink powder, but then you got a little tube. And I'm like, no, he did not. He really put himself out here like this. Not thinking there's cameras around. See, people think because they go on boats, they don't have cameras. Yeah. If it's a $4 million yacht, it got a camera. Because they going to see what you're doing. So some people wondered if Cardi had recorded it, but I don't think so. This looked like it came above from like angle down, 45-degree angle security camera. So now the NFL is investigating because they want to know what was in the pink bag, and everybody on social media is telling them exactly what it is. Some people said, oh, those are gummy bears. You're like, no. If so, they all smushed up. It wasn't gummy bears. It's a pink powdery substance. You could see how when the bag tilted to the side, and one of the girls just took the bag and opened it, and it had a little tube in it. So clearly you're supposed to use the tube to consume the pink powder, and it wasn't funded. It wasn't, but it was pink, and it was not. It was not a mistake. And here's what they're saying: he wasn't with the team at the practice the next day, so they kind of put him to the side. They said they're going to investigate. But one commentator got me. He said, well, you know, these things tend to have a way of working themselves out. If he plays well, I'm sure it'll go away. Now, if that was a quarterback and he was black, see, when you're not a quarterback, they don't care. That's why Tyreek Hill is still in the NFL. His first incident in Kansas City should have never made it past that. But sometimes they like that. They kind of like pimps. Like, let me take care of you. Let me. I know you're downtrodden, so let me just go ahead on and, you know, I know you can't do no better. Your brain don't have better cognitive functioning. So yeah, just come on. You can't do no better. Just stay on the team. I'm gonna keep paying you millions and millions of dollars. But the position that they value, understand this. Andrew Berry even said in his first pressure, you know, the quarterback position is the most important position on the team. That's the position they covet. They want to pick and choose who get that one. And when black QBs rise to QB1, they don't care if they QB 2, 3, and 4. It's when you get to QB1. That's where your life becomes hell from what we see, what they try to do with Shedeur, but it's not getting to him. But believe me, there are hurdles and obstacles and bans, and you get excessively sacked and everything along the way to keep you from being in the spot, or if you rise to it, from being in the spot for long. Tyrod Taylor. This is about quarterbacks. So if y'all know anything about Stephon Diggs, they say if he play well, these things might just go away. And I believe they said that's one of the things that they were trying to indict Carisha on, that substance. So we're going to see what they say the substance truly is, or what they're going to pretend it is. Because any of this pink substance that come with a slim tube, it's obvious what you're supposed to do with it. It's obvious what you're supposed to do with it. It wasn't no papers to roll it in. It wasn't a straw. It's about this size, and it's just enough in the bag. And he probably bought it from somewhere, and, you know, he in trouble. So let's see if they make the trouble go away. I haven't heard anything else about Aaron Rodgers since the whole thing, Danica Patrick, when she came out and told us. The quarterback from BYU that we get ready to play BYU, Retzlaff. Let's see if he on the team. Haven't heard anything else about that since that civil lawsuit was filed. But we still talk about Deshaun Watson. Only his reputation will be dragged. This is why we need Negro Leagues back. The plantation is whack. Yes. It wasn't a good look for Cardi either, going through a divorce. No, but we all make choices. Well, Stephon Diggs should not have had it on camera. And he was trying to impress them girls and jeopardize a $65 million bag. You already with your woman on the boat. So why are you trying to impress these girls? Then in the way he pulls it out, he like I can make it happen. Even though I think he was talking about something else, like doing something on a Saturday or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, Jerry said only his reputation will get dragged. He's still going to play. Right, because he's not a quarterback. And if his play declines, he will be gone. Yup, that's facts. That's facts. Cardi is a bad picker. She going from bad to worse. That is because, what's your motive? What's your motive? Anybody else after the type of marriage with all that infidelity probably be too scared to get in a relationship. But maybe I need to prove a point to my ex. You messed up. You left a good thing. And then she keep ending up with this guy, and it just go from bad to worse. So we shall see what happens to what the peak powder, what they say it is, because nobody's dumb. Everybody under the comments on any page that discussed it called it all the same thing. 2C, Pink Enjoy Coke. But everybody knows what it is because it got a tube with it. So somebody out here making bags. All right, y'all. So we're going to get out of here. This was fun. 1 hour and 27 minutes. There were over 119 of us. We had 88 likes. Take a moment. Just take a moment and hit the like button. We're not going to know who you are, so don't think you're going to reveal your identity if you're just hanging out in the background. We appreciate you riding with us, but help us get to the next level. Help us get to the next level. All right, y'all. So we'll be back tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for what I call the nightly live stream. And that's where we all get together as a family after the day is done. And we talk about things. Terrell Pryor is currently in progress. I might be done by 9:30. If Shedeur go live, I try to capture it and share it. I actually have some of the content. I just don't have time to edit it. And we're probably going to talk about that at one point. But at 9:30 p.m., we will talk about what hot topics are presented to us. If we find out what the pink substance is, we'll talk about that too. All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much. If you on Twitch, follow us, What She Says Sports. TikTok, follow us, What She Says Sports. We're trying to get in the groove of going live over there. We're just trying to work it out with my schedule. Hell, I might go live on TikTok after this and just say hello, 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 and just to say hi. Just to say hi. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching What She Says Sports Midday Huddle. We will return. Thank y'all tonight. Thank you. See you later. DE. Cardi is for the day, not to stay. Lord have mercy. Attracts to deal with the energy she is. Yeah, okay, see, that's it. Some people say it's karma. I don't know what that is. Gretchen, what? Chad, I don't know what Gretchen knows, but y'all tell her. Y'all tell her what it is. All right, we're gonna see y'all later. Catch y'all later. Hello.